مصطفى إنيزان وإلى Tarryn.
The inside of Mustafa Inezan's two-bedroom apartment in El Cajon didn't have any family photos or knickknacks. Instead, it had mismatched furniture, donated necessities, and the sound of 5 young sons roughhousing on a sunny afternoon. The apartment was a welcome home after the family fled violence in Syria. That's where Inezan says he was blinded by torture at the hands of government forces. A local resettlement agency placed the family of 7 in the home when they arrived in San Diego last year. But about 6 months after they moved in, they were faced with having to move out. A supervisor for the apartment complex told KPBS 7 people was too many for the apartment. Only 6 names were on the lease.
The problem is that they want us to leave the home. And I told them we are 7 before we lived in the house. I told them we are 7, to the IRC and the manager.
The IRC is the International Rescue Committee in San Diego. The resettlement agency uses federal funds to help refugees with housing and other needs during their first few months. Inezan says the IRC helped him navigate the English language lease, but somehow one name was left off. An apartment complex supervisor says the management company abides by federal housing guidelines that permit only 6 people in a 2-bedroom. The IRC has claimed it follows these recommendations too. The difference of 1 person meant the family was too big for the apartment and had to leave.
I don't know anyone, first of all. And I am blind. I don't see. Who would give us a house?
The Inezans arrived last year during the largest wave of refugees that San Diego has seen in years. The region's average monthly arrivals roughly tripled in August. September saw even more. This pressured resettlement staff to find homes using limited funds in a tight rental market. Fair housing advocate Estela de los Rios says Inezan is not the only one to face this predicament. She says between November and December last year, her nonprofit heard from at least 10 refugee clients who were also asked to leave their apartments because of too many occupants. Although she didn't determine which of San Diego's 4 resettlement agencies placed them, she says she contacted the IRC's executive director, David Murphy, to better understand the overall process.
I did ask the question. I said, many of the families are coming in and stating that they were placed at a unit and then later asked to be asked to leave because of the huge number of family members. And they would just say, well, we don't know how that happened.
KPBS interviewed IRC's Murphy about the Inezan family's situation.
I'm trying to figure out how 7 people, which should be the number of the family, should be very familiar to the resettlement agency, but 6 names appeared on the lease. How could that happen?
That I have no idea why that would happen. Normally that would never happen. So, I mean, the number of people that live in the apartment are the number of people that are on the lease.
Later in an email, Murphy said he looked into the problem and couldn't figure out why it happened. For the Inezan family, the outcome was positive. On the day of KPBS's interview, a community member helping the family got a phone call.
Would you recommend that we come there today to pick up the application and to see the apartment?
A 3-bedroom was available, and the complex was willing to accept the family's limited income for rent. They moved in the next month. All 7 members are now listed on the lease. Tarryn, Mento, KPBS News.